This is a test of frequency instruments, bass, drums, distortion.
More than anybody else, because that's such a sad thing to think the whole world is against you. And there are bad police officers, there must be. It's the law of averages, so they need to be got rid of. But at the same time, please don't assume every officer is out to get you. Just greet them with a cheery smile and say, look, I know you've got a job to do. Carry on, because I mean I was a child of the 60s. And,
if you'd been,
what's been going on for donkeys.
If you had been stopped 4 times in the same day, what would you think?
4 times in the same day.
Yeah, what would you think?
Well, then, you can't help thinking that what's going on, but maybe there was a marker on the car. Sometimes my daughter's car got stopped because they said they thought it had a marker on it, and this was many years before that. So, I don't know, people do get stopped, but it's not all one race that gets stopped.
No, of course it isn't, but I doubt whether there is a single person listening to this programme who is white who's been stopped multiple times in the same day. And I mean, in other phone-ins that I've done, I've heard from people who have been stopped dozens of times within a 3-month period. That doesn't happen. I mean, unless you are a known criminal, that doesn't happen to ordinary white people. This is where, whatever your views of the police, and I like to support the police where I can, but you don't actually do any good if you don't recognise that there is a problem here. We're hearing from enough people tonight and in previous phone-ins to know that there is a problem, and we have these phone-ins virtually every year. I've done them for the last 10 years. I don't see a lot has changed. The proportions have gone down a little bit, but not massively, and not massively enough. Aid is in Vauxhall. Hello, Aid.
Oh, hi, Ian.
Hi.
Good evening. Hope you're well.
I'm very well, thank you. What would you like to tell me?
I'm just listening to some of your callers, your previous caller just now, and it's really sad to see that. I know I do feel you have to be black in order to understand the impact that stops and search has on people. I have cousins that go through this on a regular basis, and I do think there needs to be a change within the police force, because they are, historically, stop and search is used, and is still used to humiliate and oppress young black males especially, and the fact that the commissioner doesn't see it as a problem is really scary to me, because if she doesn't see it as a problem, she can't really resolve it. And listening to one of your other callers, I think he was one that wrote the book, and he was basically said, the molehill, that really shocks me, because I think unless you're a black person in living in England, you will never understand, especially a young black male, what they go through. It's really sad. And the previous lady said, the police officer stops you, you just smile and let them do their job. But you have to understand the frustration. Like you said, there's been black males that have been stopped 10 times in one day, more than that. So
and frankly, in the end, whatever argument you have on this, you have to come back to that, don't you? Because that is inexplicable. We've really nearly reached the end of the hour. I want to squeeze one more caller in. Apologies that was so short. Caroline is in Bushey. Hi, Caroline.
Oh, hello. Look, I'm not actually demeaning anything about the actual real disproportionate racism that takes place, or any of my black friends. But I actually was stopped when I bought my car, which I've had now for 10 years, 8 years old this car was, but it was a sports car and it was in beautiful condition and it had my own private plate on it, but I was lost in Hackney where my best friend lives, and I was driving really slowly because I was trying to read road signs, so that I could get home in this car, my first trip out that I just bought. And the police pulled me over and they said, we've stopped you because nobody drives a car like that too slow, right? It looks really suspicious. Now, they might have pulled me over because I was black, because it was an MX-5 and you cannot see the driver, and it was in Hackney, okay? So I'm not saying that, right? But I laughed and I showed them the toy poodle sitting on the chair next to me, and I said, you really think I'd nick this car? And I brought a toy poodle with me, right? Then I demanded that they gave me, because I don't drink and drive, gave me an alcohol test, which they would not do. And then they checked on me, and they very embarrassingly said, but actually I thought it was funny. But, actually listening to this today, I realised, hold on a minute, I've never been stopped anywhere else. for anything, but I was actually driving very suspiciously slowly, to be fair to them.
Okay, Caroline, thank you very much indeed. I sometimes wonder what people are listening to. Somebody on Twitter says, now without any dissenting views, there's no point in listening to your show. We've had... what have you been listening to for the last hour? And I can...